I have probably known Mikey most of his life. His family always lived here, knew his mother and his dad, became his guidance counselor in the 80s, and was his guidance counselor through his high school career. He was an outstanding young man, was president of the student body. He was smart, he was well-rounded, he played football. His classmates voted him most likely to succeed in high school his senior year, and he certainly fulfilled that prophecy. After Mikey finished college, he and Cindy got married, and then they decided to move back to Orangeburg, and he was going to work at Coxwood, and they called me. At that point, I was in real estate, and they called me to show them houses in Orangeburg, so I was fortunate enough to sell them their first house here in Orangeburg. So at the closing table, sitting there with one of his classmates who's an attorney, I told him, I said, you know, I think you're the first client that I have had that I know your SAT score and your house payment, and they are both quite high.
You know, when you hear somebody say that a person's a great guy, you often have many thoughts come to your head. Well, Mikee Johnson's a great guy for many, many reasons. He's a consummate business person. Everybody knows that. Mikee has taken his family business to new levels that probably his grandfather never thought possible. But maybe he did when he entrusted Mikee to lead the company. And Mikee's done a wonderful job with Cox.
I would say that one of Mikee's most outstanding characteristics is the pride that he takes in both his family and the pride that he takes in being third generation in a family business, to the degree that he sought it upon himself to go and get a master's in family business from Kennesaw State University so that he could be the best that he could be in his position.
Mikee Johnson is probably one of the most impressive young strategic thinkers that's coming along in this generation. I call it the next generation because I could be Mikee's mother, maybe his big sister, but his mother probably. But he really, really thinks through every issue that faces South Carolinians and comes up with lots of thoughtful ideas about how we could solve a problem.
He thinks out of the box. You know, he's just been a huge asset to the city of Orangeburg and the county of Orangeburg and the state of South Carolina.
Mikee's the scoutmaster of Troop 45, which is the Orangeburg Boy Scout troop. In fact, I first met Mikee when he was a scout in Troop 45. Mikee is an Eagle Scout, and you can tell that because, you know, when a person has character, when they have a love of the outdoors, a lot of times you can look back in their background and say, you know, I wonder what caused that young man to have those type values. And Mikee has been involved in Boy Scouts his entire life. Mikee takes the Scouts camping about once every month.
I think the theme of this night should have been, where in the world is Mikee Johnson? Because anytime you text Mikee or call him, you have no clue where he's going to be in the world. He might be in Alaska fishing, or he might be in Wyoming hunting, or he may be somewhere in the low country doing something fun. But he tends to business by using telecommunications.
I think that Mikee's really extraordinary on so many levels, but I think three things in particular stick out for me. The first is he operates with complete integrity. I think he's somebody that you can rely on, that you can trust to do the right thing, even when many others might be tempted to cut corners or to take advantage of a situation. I've seen him in countless situations where he just endlessly pursues the right thing to do.
You can count on Mikee Johnson. If he tells you he's going to do something, he's going to do it. Now, he might not personally do it, but he will make sure it gets done, and it gets done on time. But that's one of the traits of a good leader, is to make sure that you delegate appropriately and that there's follow-through. And that's something that Mikee does well.
Mikee is tireless in his support of, his participation in, and his influence over the many civic, state, federal organizations that he is involved with. I characterize Mikee as finding sleep to be a nuisance because he's so passionate about what he does in his service to his company, to his state, and to his community.
Mikee doesn't mind getting dirty. He doesn't mind going out and doing something and getting involved in a very physical way to get something done.
He's an extraordinary individual in terms of really being able to get inside the skin of other people and appreciate and understand what's motivating them and what's really driving perhaps a very different perspective or point of view than the one he might have brought to a situation. And he's great about being able to really appreciate the contributions that a wide range of individuals will bring to any situation.
That's why he's so successful in his business, because he works with everybody and he takes into account what all of his employees think, want, can do, and then he makes a major decision for his company. That's the way strategic thinkers work.